Hello,
Hello, hello,
Pitt.
hello. Hi, Panic. How's it
I'm
going?
good. I'm good. How you doing tonight?
Good. My color is coming back to
Oh,
my face.
oh. Always something. I swear to God, every time I
I
stream, there is something that I didn't intend to happen that happens.
and and like 5 minutes before we have to go on, I decide to fiddle with it, and I'm like, oh, not that. Welcome everyone to the SplitsQueen podcast. My name is Pitt Injury, and up top we have Full On Panic. This is a queer podcast about video games. We talk about our favorite ones, what we've been playing, some of the news, and we answer some of the questions that you have in chat or online. Today is the 29th of, I was like, what day is it? The 29th of November. We're on episode 4 of SplitsQueen. We're after Thanksgiving. So uh, there's not that much news, but but we can still be thankful for a bunch of stuff.
It is Black Friday season. I call it that because no
Yeah.
longer are we just the day after Thanksgiving and it's done. Now you've got like the small business Saturdays. You've got the
Cyber
Cyber
Monday.
Monday. I'm guessing that all of the new games that came out recently will be on sale at some point. Um,
Right.
but what you will not see on sale anytime soon, easily available, is PS5 because those are all gone. Those are all sold out according to Sony. Um, yeah, what do you got about this?
So on Push Square, oh, I don't have the article. On pushsquare.com, the news is that absolutely every PS5 is sold out.
Now, here's the thing. There was also an article that bots accounted for thousands of these units,
3,500. Yeah.
thousands of these
Yeah.
units being scooped up by bots and
Right.
resold for an exorbitant amount of money. I think this is ridiculous. I think that Sony really has no reason to do anything about it because they're still
Mhm.
getting their money. Retailers have no reason to really do anything about it because they're still getting their money. But consumers have to like be able to say, "I'm not going to pay more than MSRP for this," and that's the
Right.
only way it's going to stop. It's not. We can't rely on the retailers for that.
It's based off of people are willing to pay a certain price to have their kids get, them or themselves get a PS5.
Right.
And on eBay they were going for 2-3 times as much, you know. And if there's people willing to pay that, especially in a pandemic year, like, you can't deny that, you
Well,
know.
yeah, I understand that, but it's just going to perpetuate the problem. Like
Right.
they're not going to do a captcha or something to make it so that it doesn't like just sell out to bots and then, you know, go for 3 times the price because they don't have any reason to. The only people who can control that are the people who are buying the system.
I'm wondering where they purchased all of these consoles. Like, are they purchasing them on Target or like Amazon or something?
Oh, all over the
Or
place, I'm sure.
okay,
I know
so
that
then it's up to.
when I did my pre-order on Amazon, I didn't have to do a captcha.
Oh,
All they
right,
have to
because
do, yeah, all they have to
you
do
just
is
brute
just
force
spoof a
it.
whole bunch of accounts and then spam it.
Right.
Uh, Best Buy didn't have anything like that. Target didn't have anything like that when I was getting stuff into my cart, and I don't think that there was anything like that before it needed to. I don't think there's anything like that before you actually put your payment information in.
Right. So yeah, and there are people that whose whole job it is to just make money off of this by creating bots or what have you.
Right.
So it would be hard to combat unless every retailer says, hey, we, especially for something this high of a priority, this high of demand, we need capture codes for all of them.
Right.
But
I mean,
there's,
that
I
might
mean,
slow it down, but like GameStop had a
sure.
queue system when you were doing a pre-order for PS5,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
uh, where like they would only let certain amount of people into the website at a time. You'd have to wait, and I think it was still a challenge to check out with that. but
Right.
I don't know if there were like less bots that got through because of that. You know,
Yeah. It's it sucks. It really sucks.
so Sony has said that all of the systems are spoken for, but stock is still going up here and there. They'll usually
Yeah.
go up for like 5-10 seconds before they're scooped. If you're
Hmm.
still looking for one, please try to hold out. They will come back into stock. They are trying to work on replenishing. I am not a PlayStation spokesperson,
Representative.
right? But I am a customer.
I would like personally would never consider buying from a scalper. I I would rather wait or not get it
Mhm.
and pay the regular retail price for it than have to pay twice for it. I
Yeah,
mean, think of all the games, like just like economically, think of all the games that you could buy with that extra 500 that you're just giving to a scalper.
and really, there's not so much out there that you have to have right now. There's
Right.
just isn't. Um, what are the
Other
exclusives
than
on PS5
other
anyway?
than
Like,
Demon Souls.
yeah, Demon Souls. Uh,
Yeah, Reavers in chat says I'm fine waiting. Yeah,
yeah,
I am too, Reavers. And I hope too that even though that everything is sold according to Jim Ryan, that we still will be able to get more stock as the year goes on. Yeah,
yeah.
outside of
And
Demon
Miles
Souls and
Morales
Miles
is on
Morales.
PS4. You just have loading screens.
Yeah, so it's not it's not like we can't hang on till after 2020 to get our next gen consoles,
Right,
really.
right. I
But
mean, am I
Demon Souls,
am I speaking from a place of like I have one, so therefore I'm not feeling this crunch to try to get one? Totally.
well, I don't have one though, and I'm not feeling the crunch to get one
Well,
right
yeah,
now.
yeah.
So
I guess it depends on like your level of I'm baby and I need it now. Because
right,
sometimes that's me.
and if you have that extra cash to burn, if you have nothing else that you're gonna do with that money, I mean, I guess you could just go for it,
Yeah.
but it's not that big of a deal to me.
Speaking of cash and things that make
Yes.
tons and tons and tons of money, Rockstar Games online offerings are cash cows.
Mm-hmm.
GTA 5 online still continues to make a shit ton of money, hand over fist. And another one of their online offerings is now going standalone. So they've announced that Red Dead Online is going to be a standalone title, which I don't know if you've played any of Red Dead Online, or if you want to talk about that.
Sure. Have you played any of it?
I did. I played. I want to say I've probably put like 4 or 5 hours into the online. I did play almost the entire campaign. I got all the way to the epilogue for Red Dead Redemption 2,
Uh huh.
but I didn't. I didn't get too far into the online because it was just coming out at that point. I would like to revisit it. I think it'd be
Mm-hmm.
fun to go back because it did seem like a cool idea the way that they put it together. Um, I don't know. What was your experience with that?
I had the same experience. I only played Red Dead Online as soon as it came out. I also only finished up to the epilogue and didn't play after that either. So it
Uh,
wasn't. I have the same experience as you for that. I enjoyed Red Dead. I think there were a lot of. I mean, for the game itself, I think there were a lot of things that they could have changed, like fast travel. Just how much time it took to do things.
yeah, I mean that's the
It's a
thing.
gorgeous game.
Riding a horse around this gigantic country is cool until like the objective is on the other side of the map and it's an
Right.
online world. So yeah, you can fast travel, but that it just feels I don't know
Inauthentic.
a little bit for a game that relies so heavily on realism and making the world feel real and like as slow as it would take to actually load a gun, that sort of thing.
Right.
Um, I don't know. What I'm interested to see, though, is now that it's being sort of developed on its own as an online offering, which I guess it kind of already was, but now that it's standalone, are they going to do something about putting it on like PS5? And if so, could you imagine like the haptic triggers and things like that,
Yeah.
the reactive triggers with a gun jamming or feeling like you're loading each bullet? I feel like I would love to revisit this world. I don't necessarily want to play through that entire gigantic campaign again because it literally took forever for me to get through as far as I did.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, like I would like to see what online is like now. What I did play of it was cool. It was very much still trying to be mission based, like the base game was. But it felt a little weird because to like jump into if you've played Grand Theft Auto Online at all, the way that they structure it is that like there's places in the world where you can go to get into like team deathmatch or whatever the game mode is, but you can also just like kind of run around the world and talk to NPCs and do little missions and stuff.
Right.
I felt like this went a little further in actually making it more story based content because it does have a storyline to it. I wonder how much more of that there is in it. I don't know. If you have played a bunch of Red Dead Online, please write us at Split Screen. Sorry, SplitsQueen. What's our
Split
damn
Screen.
email?
SplitsQueenPodcast@gmail.com.
Thank you. I can't rattle this stuff off yet. We need like a
No,
hotline.
it's also SplitsQueen is also one of those things that one of those words that gets stuck in your mouth sometimes.
That's where I
It's
like
hard
to be,
like,
right there.
Yeah.
Which-
So for like you've been saying for Red Dead Online too, it is a different feel to Grand Theft Auto Online, and I feel like that the reason that they're doing this is because, in my opinion, they're not getting as many people as they would like to join Red Dead Online. Right. This is lowering that barrier to entry.
Yeah.
It's also adding it to PC. It's an introductory offer of $4.99 until the day after Valentine's Day next year. And it says, please note, PlayStation Plus, Xbox Live Gold is required to play on console. And then it's also available by backwards compatibility on PS5 and Xbox Series hardware.
Right.
So I know too, like they have been putting a lot of resources in Red Dead Online because it is the newer version of the online platforms that they've been doing. But like you said, Grand Theft Auto Online is so much more popular.
Oh yeah,
they're making so much more money with that.
And part of that though is also that there's like a huge mod community around Grand Theft Auto 5 Online. They have entire servers where like every single NPC is another player. I don't know if you've seen this before. There's a whole sub community of people that stream like Grand Theft Auto roleplay. Are you familiar with this? Okay, so check this out. This is actually really cool. If you have extra time, check this stuff out. So Grand Theft Auto roleplay is where like people will take on a job and they will do that job, like a taxi driver, a bank teller, a gas station attendant, what have you. And they will roleplay completely in character with voices and everything, and there's a whole currency system, and these worlds, like it's all Vice. It's not Vice City. What is it called now? Los Santos or whatever. Mm-hmm. It's that whole map, but every single person that you come across is another player. There are people. I was watching my nephew stream this, and it was hilarious because he was walking down the street to go to the bank, and there's a guy busking on the corner.
No
I'm not
way.
shitting you. This guy's standing on the corner. There's a whole crowd of people around him that are all NPCs, but they're all real people, and they're all like just like hooting and hollering every time this guy finished a song. They're all sending him tips in game. I'm not kidding, dude. It was amazing.
That's so crazy. What?
Yeah. So
that's crazy.
So, but you also have to pay the consequences. Like if you break the law, if you decide to just go rogue, the cops will come after you. The cops are other players. The cops will process you. They will put you in handcuffs. They will put you in the back of the cop car.
Oh my gosh.
That's
crazy.
Nuts.
I mean, you explaining, like, in theory, you're like, yeah, of course that's a thing. Second Life's a thing. Like, you know, everybody does whatever they want. And then you go into it and you're like, oh, somebody's sitting there like as a bank teller, just waiting.
Yep.
Just chilling at the game.
Yep. What? It's crazy the amount of mod stuff that they put out for that actually kind of works for it. I mean, I don't know that I'd want to do the same job. Like, would I want to log into a game to do a job that's similar to a job you can do in real life that people, no offense to bank tellers, but is that like...
I wouldn't want to log into a game to do a job.
Right.
unless it's like an MMO or something.
Right. Like I've never been okay, so this is time for Jason's hot takes.
Yes, I'm so excited for these.
I think crafting in MMOs is trash. I've never seen it done well. I've never seen it done fun. I've never understood why people put so fucking much time into crafting in MMOs. You literally sit there and you do the same thing over and over and over ad nauseum to get like a little bit better quality on a leather belt. Like, hello? Are you going to use it? Are you selling it? Is this fun for you? Maybe it is. It's not fun for me. That's my hot take.
I don't think that's that hot of a take. I feel like the people that play MMOs, I don't think very many people are like, I love crafting.
Give me that crafting.
Give me that leather belt.
I don't know.
But
I have friends that like really try to get these titles in Final Fantasy 14 with crafting,
yes.
and I'm like, yo, I don't have the attention span for that. So kudos to you for that.
Right.
Also, that's a lot of like sameys. You're gonna get carpal tunnel,
and that's why mods exist, or like macros and stuff like that. Like,
have you really earned it if you haven't clicked to strike with your hammer every single time
while the iron is hot?
While the iron is.
I wonder too, like if I was to create a game like this, I would totally put a mini game in every crafting thing. Just something simple, I don't know.
I have to say, Rivers in chat says some people like it. I totally understand. I am not trying to take anything away from anybody else, but you won't see me crafting anything in an MMO just ever.
Yeah.
I think it's the worst. I think it's the worst. If they could make it fun, it'd be fun. But it's not, and everybody knows it. Well, except for maybe you people like it. I don't like it. Anyway.
I mean, that's
this is why it's no nuance November. Like, this is a hot take. I said
it's a hot take, and that's okay. It's all good. Count Jacula in chat says regarding Red Dead Redemption Online. Honestly, it plays out like the Wild West. It's hard to get ahead as there are a lot of big gangs that are running the gambit, and then once you're in, people know you, and then they hunt you.
Oh,
and that
sounds kind of awesome, though.
Oh,
it's Twitter.
I mean, it is awesome, but it's Twitter.
It's Twitter.
Why?
I mean, think about it. Like, it's hard to get in, but once you're in, people know about it, and then they start trolling you.
Yeah.
As soon as you get that check.
Fun. As soon as you get that check mark,
as soon as you get that check,
hunted.
It's over.
I felt like that happened to me
Not
in
that I
Grand
have
Theft Auto as well. Like I had spent a little bit of time, the same amount of time in Grand Theft Auto Online, where I think a dude just kept like oozing me in the face or like AKing me in the face like every time I respawned. And I'm like,
oh yeah,
okay,
no fun.
Okay, well, I'm not gonna come back here.
Yeah.
Reavers in chat. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, check out the IRL, like, I guess IRL. Check out the role play stuff. It's
the
really
role playing one.
It's fun to watch, even.
Wild.
Yeah.
Reavers in chat says, at least you're not playing those Asian MMOs where crafts can fail and you lose everything. Oh, Reavers, 100%. And just that RNG grind of
it's
crafting
coming.
And just
it's coming. I mean, think about it this way. This is all meant to sort of gotchify video games because that's a money-making machine. Look at Genshin Impact. Like,
Genshin's making a lot of money.
Yeah. And it's because of those chance mechanics, and it's because of it's just I'm not saying Genshin is a bad game. I think that it's got a wonderful art style. I think it's got great gameplay. The storyline's actually pretty good. I played it for probably like 4 hours, one sitting. I'll never touch it again. I played it one time, and I was like, this is really good. I'm surprised this is so good for a free-to-play, but if I continue playing, I'm going to end up spending money on it. I don't need that in my life.
Yeah, exactly. CW Gaming's the same way. He said, I'm not touching that game because I know I'm going to spend a lot of money on it. I played the tutorial and pulled 0 characters off my first pull and then uninstalled the game.
Sore loser.
I was salty, and I realized that I was like so close to spending money because of that I was like, I just can't. And there's so, again, like we've been saying before, there's so many other games out there to play. and to enjoy, that you don't have to spend money on or just, spend one time.
Well, I think there's something to be said for like, I will spend the amount of money that I would normally spend on a video game if I love this game. The problem is that it's going to continue asking me for money, and I'm going to be like, well, I'm already in this far, and it's only
There's
an extra $2. It's only an
right
extra $5. Like that adds up.
in those loot goal type games, there's no respect to how much money you have already put in.
Yeah,
So
usually there's not.
right. So because you can spend $100, $10, $100, or $1,000 and still get the same stuff. You have more shit, like more crap stuff, like more like bottom of the barrel stuff. But like,
Crafting.
yeah, there's really no way to guarantee that you're going to get something out of it. So like for me, my most recent online like DLC purchase was the one of the killers in Dead by Daylight. Because I was guaranteed to get it, right?
Yep.
I didn't have to hope and pray that the $3 that I spent getting Bubba on Dead by Daylight was gonna not work.
Yeah,
or
that's
whatever,
a really good
right?
point, actually. Like, the difference between a gotcha chance mechanic that you're paying for and, like, DLC where you're sure to get the character, like, it's, I don't know if I've ever thought about it in those terms. Like, one of them is predatory by nature. Even if it gives
Right.
you the chances, like, I was looking at some of the percentage chances on Genshin Impact characters, and some of them are like 1.6%. Like, 1.6%.
Yeah.
What?
It's you're gonna pay almost 100 times over to get that character,
Yeah.
if at
So
all.
I don't know if they were to release a version of the game that was like $60, but you got, I don't know, almost all the characters, even if they had some that were separate that you could buy as a pack, I would be much more into that model than, oh, maybe. And on top of that,
Right.
like, there's different, I don't know if this is true for this game, but like most of the mobile games, like the Final Fantasy mobile games and stuff, you can get different versions of each character where some of them are like better than others, which is just another level of insidious to me.
Yeah. And it goes back to that feedback mechanism of a slot machine, right? You're getting your like dopamine hit from the chance that you're going to get a good character out of it.
Right.
So since it's playing into that feedback loop of one more time, you're spending more money than you would if you just got a standalone game like that. And in those like in the mobile scene too, they're looking for those like whale players that are going to spend over $100
Oh yeah.
on their game, because that's how they're making a lot of their money, is people just spending piles of cash.
It is crazy to me that the industry actually calls them whales as well.
Yeah.
People that spend that much money, they actually call them whales. Reaver says, "Stop calling me
Stop
out."
calling me out. Call him how I see him. So and we can have a whole podcast on loot crates if we really wanted to as well. I mean,
Yeah.
here and in recent years, loot crates have been such a hot topic of, are they good? Are they not good? Are there companies that are doing it better than others? And I feel like there are, right? So like on Overwatch, all loot crates are cosmetic only. They have
Yep.
no bearing on the game except for visibility, right? And you're able to earn everything by playing only, right? And the same goes for Genshin, but like, it's
But not really,
scales.
because some of them have different powers that you can only get if you have that character, though, right?
Very true too, yeah.
Like, the reason Battlefront 2 had such a backlash was because everything that you did to upgrade your characters was unlocked through random chance.
Right.
So basically, somebody who paid more had more random chances and therefore would probably be a higher level than you, and that's just
Right.
a broken model. I don't even particularly like the fact that loot boxes exist in Overwatch, because it doesn't really have an effect on the way the game plays or anything, but that's still game content that they created and put in this game that exists on whatever format. Like, it's already installed on your shit because people are using that to play against you.
Right.
And why would you make me pay more to use something that's already technology on my system?
So you're on that side of it, on that
Right.
end of it.
DLC, things that you should pay extra for, extra story content that didn't exist at the time of release. I'm okay, I guess, with like cosmetic stuff that they come up with way afterward. Um, I I just don't think that like stuff that already exists on the thing that you've downloaded or the disc that you've put on. I guess it's all download now because the discs don't even contain most of the game.
Right.
But like that is just weird to me that they're pay gating that sort of thing.
I mean, we got to make money somehow, right?
True.
Did we talk about? We had talked about on the podcast before the potential increase from $60 to $70 here. Yes, because in Europe it's already like 90 or something, right? I remind me again. Were you like in favor of it?
I'm in favor of it if it means that we're going to have less predatory practice, like what we're seeing with
right. Okay,
with
I remember that.
Shit. But
right.
I don't see that happening. I really don't see any pushback. It's the same thing with bots scooping up all the PS5s. As long as the consumer continues to pay for it, as long as people are outwardly saying, "Oh, I don't like this," and inwardly going, "All right, I guess I'll do it this once," like it's going to continue to happen. So if game prices already go to 70, which Demon Souls was, which the Spider-Man like Ultimate Edition is, Godfall is $70. As long as
poor Godfall.
As long as people continue to pay for these loot boxes, they're going to continue to happen.
Right. It's not like and going back to Dead by Daylight, some of them it's not really affecting my gameplay to see a character dressed up differently. Unless unless it's mechanically they're wearing something that it's bright colored and you're trying to hide, that's different.
But there are some games I think it would make a difference, like Metal Gear Online, right? They had a bunch of costume packs for that and stuff, and I could see that some of those costumes might work better for camouflage. But that's a stretch. Right. I mean, whenever I've played online games, I've always tried to pick like whatever uniform or whatever I think is going to blend in with the environment better. But that's just because I'm a dweeb and I don't think it actually works better because I have such a bad kill death rate.
I just like things that look cute. That's why in Assassin's Creed Valhalla, my longbow has rainbows on it and a unicorn.
Have you seen like that the warriors that you have now have like rainbow shields?
Yeah.
Whenever you raid,
so good.
It's so cute.
I love it.
I also have that.
Oh, you do? Okay.
I do.
Okay, good.
I also have that.
It's so good. I just look at that ship, and every time that sun smiles at me from the back of the ship, taste the rainbow. Thank you, Mystica. Every time that sun smiles at me in the back, it just puts a smile on my face. I'm over here trying to raid and pillage 9th century England, and you can't do it without a smile on your face.
You can't.
With shields.
There's nothing like burning villagers' houses to the ground.
Yeah.
In the name of love.
And rainbows.
Speaking of love and rainbows, we just had a Thanksgiving. I'm sorry I'm doing all the segues. I'm just finding like these openings. I'm going for it.
Don't be sorry at all. I think you're doing a great job. Don't worry.
So it was Thanksgiving this last weekend. Hopefully everybody was safe and that there's
in the States.
In the States, I guess for our overseas and underseas friends.
It was a happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday.
Yep.
But we thought, like, what are we thankful for in this weird time of COVID? It doesn't have to be video games, but I'm sure that will be around.
Sure.
Do you want to go first?
Yeah. I'm thankful for this podcast.
Oh.
Honestly, I'm thankful for you, Panic. Like, I'm thankful that we're able to connect together and talk and, become better friends and become better, streamers and podcasters because of this platform. And so thank you for helping set this up. Panic was the one that did all of the visuals, this overlay. He's the one hosting it, so thank you so much for doing it.
I am an amateur complete amateur when it comes to the visual stuff, but I take it as seriously as I can.
It looks really good.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you.
Absolutely.
I'm thankful for this as well. So thanks for stealing it. I'm thankful for that.
You had me go first. I was like, I'll take it. I'm gonna go straight for the heart right now.
I am thankful. I am thankful for the community that I've met this year. You definitely included, but like
Thank you.
the larger community that of people that I would never have known had COVID probably not happened. So that's a weird, stupid silver lining. I was actually talking to a good friend Yeebsy earlier today about like music stuff, because he's got a long history of working in the music industry, and he posed a question to me about like I don't know if you know who the Traveling Wilburys are. This is a total side conversation, but it was
Yeah, it's all good.
traveling. The Traveling Wilburys were a super group that happened in I think the '70s, and it was Jeff Lynne from ELO, Bob Dylan, George Harrison, Roy Orbison, and Tom Petty, and they all like they all sat down and wrote songs together, and it's amazing. And so we were just talking like if that was to happen nowadays, who would it be? And then I stopped the conversation. I was like, I would not know you. You wouldn't be
Yeah.
streaming. I don't know that I would have had time to start setting up streaming and doing it the way I wanted to do it
Yep.
without this stay at home stuff. And you know what? Like I'm thankful that we've been able to sort of bounce and land on our feet and find something that really just like accentuates a passion I've always had, which
Hmm.
is video games, which is, being outgoing and meeting people and especially doing this kind of thing. So, yeah, that's a long roundabout way of saying I'm thankful for streaming saving my brain this year.
Absolutely. There are so many things this year that have happened that are like not great, and making the best of the situations that we've been in, has brought us to this, has brought us to everyone in chat. Thank you everyone in chat for being here live with us on SplitsQueen and commenting and all of that. So I like same here. I had dabbled in streaming before, but I had never had a sense of community, had a sense of the LGBTQIA2 plus community being a huge part of streaming,
Yeah.
finding friends that are like-minded individuals that are also part of that umbrella, like just a lot of really good things have come out of streaming, the community, I'm in awe. I mean, and again, like you said, this probably wouldn't have happened and we wouldn't have had as many streamers and community members if the pandemic wasn't a thing,
And I
right?
just want to put it out there that if you're getting into streaming or if you have started this year and you've heard the term COVID streamer as like a negative, don't worry about it. Honestly, don't worry
Mm-hmm.
about it. Do you? It doesn't matter why you started. It's that you started and you're doing something that you love to do. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all that matters. I don't care if uh, somebody tries to say, "Well, I've been doing it longer," or "I'm doing it for the right reason." It doesn't matter what their reason is. It doesn't matter why they're doing it. It doesn't matter if they're doing better than you. It doesn't matter if they're doing worse than you. Just focus on you. That's my
Absolutely.
my message.
Yeah, I agree. I think for me too, it's easy to like for me personally, it's easy to compare myself and say like, oh, they're doing better than me or whatever. But you're right. You are the only person standing in your way of your own success.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody else ever. There's room on the platform for everybody to do well, right? We're not competing for resources or anything,
Right.
right? Everyone's doing their own thing. Um, I think just like a short shout out to Ty_Screams had been doing a tech support AMA on his stream. I added yesterday. I added like 4 different features to my stream because of him,
Yeah.
because of like
Ty's
the things that
incredible.
he's been talking about. So the resources are out there. You just have to look for them, and not even very hard because a quick Google search for what you want. Yeah, thank you for that shout out. Quick Google search for what you want will bring like really quick results. So we Google searched like snowfall. So now I have snowfall on my just chatting scene.
Mm-hmm.
That was like a super easy browser source. Put that in. We're good. We're done.
Yep.
Took 5 minutes, and it's cute. So
It's super cute.
yeah, thank you.
It's super cute. I'm thankful. I'm thankful for all this
Yes.
technology that like somehow works, even though I might not understand it. The more I use it, the more I understand. But sometimes I'm just like, how the hell does this work? This magic. And then, conversely, whenever I start a stream, I'm like, why the hell isn't this working?
I just leave it for them for a long time too. I was like, I'm not going to change anything at this point because I just need it to work right now.
Right.
I just need it to continue to do what I want.
It is
So for
it
go
is
ahead.
all duct tape and wishes.
Oh God, yeah. For those of you who don't stream, if you just flip the camera around once, you'll just be like in awe of what goes on,
Yeah,
what
it's
goes
smoke
on
and
the other side of the
mirrors.
camera. Honestly,
Um,
and on that, along those lines, I'm thankful for free, for royalty free services, right? Royalty free like options. So I just redid my overlay to like a holiday theme from nerdordie.com.
mhm.
They had a royalty free overlay. I put that all in. I used some of it and pulled some from other things too, but just those free resources, like there are a lot of them out there, and they're just super helpful for you to not have to spend, you know, if you want. I mean, if you want to, you're welcome to spend money on it too, but
Yeah. You
just
can put
to
as much or as little effort into this and still look good as
yeah,
you want.
yeah,
To be honest,
it's
like
true.
there are streamers out there that, and this is kind of a side tangent, but this is fine. There are streamers out there that have the shittiest looking setup in the world, and they have thousands and thousands of viewers.
Oh yeah,
Like,
more viewers than I have followers. You know,
I'm
like
not calling anyone out, but like XQC, who is no longer on Twitch for the time being because their stream just looked like he was sitting in like his mom's living room or something
yeah,
with like no lighting situation to that it looked like.
yeah,
Um, and people ate it up. Why? Because of personality. Because they were entertaining people to see to watch. So yeah, I would say another piece of advice I have is don't get too hung up on what the visuals look like,
right.
because at the end of the day, your stream can be real pretty, but you aren't if you don't feel confident in what you're doing, it'll come
Yeah,
across.
and for me, I coming into streaming here, like I came from an entertainment background, so I put in that kind of mantra to how I stream. I use it as a means to entertain others.
Yeah.
And if I don't find myself entertaining, then I know other people aren't going to find me entertaining either if I'm not doing anything.
Right.
And you can come from different approaches to streaming. You can come from it from like a technological standpoint, or just being a pro at a specific game and just being really good at a game. But like since I have no pro, I'm not like a pro at Counter-Strike or anything like that. So I just come from it from a perspective of if I'm having fun, I know my viewers are going to have fun with me.
Right.
I put a freaking potato in my mouth
What was that,
yesterday
Spuds?
because one of the viewers in chat was Scandinavian. And thank you for the potatoes in chat. One of my viewers in chat was Scandinavian, and they were saying that the voice actor for one of the characters in Assassin's Creed Valhalla sounded Danish, and that their country jokes that Danish people sound like they have a potato in their mouth when they're talking, because I felt her accent was coming from like the back of her throat,
Mm-hmm.
whereas Avor's accent came from the front more. Like he had more of a tongue diction to it. So I
Excuse
put a
me?
potato in my mouth.
He had an I'm sorry?
Tongue diction.
All right. Don't Urban Dictionary that.
Is that a thing?
I don't
That's
know.
not a thing.
It's got to be.
No. Diction is that's a real
You've got a real tongue diction about you.
yeah, like a front
Frontal tongue diction.
oh.
Oh,
Anyway.
did your color correction stop working, or are you really that red right now?
I am I am red. I'm so red. Oh, here, let me back up.
No,
I am
actually, I think
getting
you are. I think you're blushing.
a little.
You saw it here first.
See, now it's like not
Okay, there you
corrected.
go.
There we go. Oh no, not this. Speaking of technical difficulties, so Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Yes.
How many hours into Assassin's Creed Valhalla are you in right now?
I would have to say probably like 16, 17, 18, around there. Like,
okay.
I got to the same spot that you did on your stream, I
Yes.
think.
Yeah.
I just got through the wedding scene. I don't know if there's
Mhm.
multiple, but the first one that you can do, I think. 19, 20, 21, 22. Yes, Count Chocula. I'm
Just count
somewhere
it.
around there. Time doesn't mean anything right now. We all know that.
No, time is relative.
But yeah, I'm honestly like I'm kind of blown away with it. I don't think that I
Okay.
could stream it because I have this habit of playing the game where like I'm ooh, what is that? Ooh, what is that? Ooh, what is that? Ooh, what is that? And I just kind of go for it. And there's no like rhyme or reason to the quest that I'm following. If I'm in the middle of a quest and something catches my eye, I'm immediately no longer on that quest. And it may take a while for me to get back to it.
And that's a good way to view Assassin's Creed as well.
Yeah.
You could play it however you want.
But what I really like about that game is that like you never know what you're getting into. I was avoiding all the blue dots at first because it's like, oh, it's going to be another side quest. Oh, it's another mission. Like, I don't necessarily
Mm-hmm.
want to do one of those, but they're so fast and sometimes they're so weird that you kind of have to.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the standout stuff that I've seen from those blue dots, one was like a nun. Did you come across the nun in the eastern Angola? Not Angola. God, East something, Angria something,
Anglica.
something. I don't know what it's called. But did you
Yeah.
come across the nun that like slaughtered everybody? That's all I'm gonna say then.
Yes.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yes. Yeah. And
Um,
I was like, what the hell is going on over here?
right. She was a badass.
I know. I was like, please stop, woman. Like, I
Uh,
don't need this right now.
she was very angry.
Early. Go ahead.
And then another one. Did you find the guy who had a head wound? If you know what I'm talking about.
Yes. That one was one of the best characters.
So, did you pull out the axe?
Yes.
I wonder what
Did
happens
you?
if you don't. No, I did too. I was like, you're gonna
I
die
think he
anyway.
just stays there. I
He could
I
live his
don't
whole
think he
life
could.
with that axe in his head.
I don't know how long he'd live, but his whole life, the rest of his life, right?
I guess we're
I
both still right.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
I
still the rest
read
of his life.
I read a full article that somebody wrote about this character, about
Really?
like a news article about how he was probably one of the most realistic NPCs, uh, or the like emotion that you felt with this character was probably one of the deepest ones that you could with an NPC in this
Oh,
game.
because you're
Because
kind of like shielding him from what's gonna happen, and
yeah, your experience, because he was talking about maybe we'll go to the mead hall later, right? Or he, if you let him continue on talking, he'll tell this whole story about what we'll do later. We'll get drunk. In the
well,
article
okay, he
too.
didn't live that long for me. I was like, what happens if you? It was over.
He will continue to talk for a few minutes, and then his speech will lessen. It gets to be a little bit more spread out between words.
Oh my
So
god.
yeah, so there, and that's why I think he doesn't live much longer. But um, you're experiencing the last moments of this person's life in a game where you kill thousands.
I know. I was just gonna say, like, you experienced lots of people's last moments in that game,
Right.
and
But
none
this
of them
one
really
is
have an
is
impact.
special. Yeah. This one is like very momentous. Um, and just to see, I was going to link that article, but the main picture that they put up is the dude with the axe in his
Yeah,
head, and I was like, I can't put this on
yeah.
Twitter. Like, I
We
don't
should
want
have
to do that.
spoiler warned this, by the way. I mean, it's a very, very, very
Eh,
small event,
yes,
but it's so
yes, but
cool. And there's so much more like that in the game.
right.
I really think, and I think I said this last week and probably the week before. I'm really excited to see all the ways in which Breath of the Wild continues to innovate, or the influence of Breath of the Wild continues to innovate open world games.
Yeah.
Um,
Um, Immortals: Phoenix Rising is another great example of them pulling Breath of the Wild and inputting it into another game.
yeah, I'm worried about that game. I think it's going to be a little too dense. I played
So
the
my friend,
demo, and
oh yes,
it's so. I know that we were just talking and glowing about a Ubisoft game, but it's
yeah,
so like Ubisoft dense in a very small world. There's so many things to do, and maybe that's a
right.
good thing. I mean, if I had to be honest, like the last Mario game was like that. Mario Odyssey, there was
Mm-hmm.
something around every single corner, but it wasn't like go to this beacon or it wasn't always spelled out for you as well. A lot of environmental puzzle stuff, like Zelda is. So I think they still haven't really nailed that piece of it.
I also don't think in general that more is necessarily better.
Yeah,
I would much rather have quality content that's a little bit more spread out than just plastering the map full of random small things that
agreed.
happen here and there.
I think
Um,
I think you're right. Like quality over quantity. It's about pacing. It's
mhm.
about making sure that there is enough downtime to really enjoy the moments that come up, but not too much downtime that you don't even want to see those things.
And on top of that too, it's just very difficult to get that pacing right when you have one team in the video game development, one team who's creating a map that's empty, and then another team that's creating quest lines and populating the map with NPCs and doing that. And if they, I mean, I don't know, I'm not a developer, but if those two groups don't communicate with, how we can populate the map or whatever, then you're going to have empty spots. You're going to have too much, right? So
Yeah, I
I
mean,
think it's that delicate balance.
it does have to make like the quests, if you want to call them that, or the events or the puzzles or whatever, have to make sense within the context of the environment they're in. Like you wouldn't have a pirate storyline in the middle of a city. I think that there's probably like some level of cooperation where like this is the setting that you're in, make stuff that's going to go along with this.
Sure.
So there has to be something like that. But I mean, I don't know. I'm a big fan, and Katie even says in chat that it was the never-ending Mario game. I'm a big fan of like the environmental storytelling, environmental puzzles of like Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey, and the Nintendo way of doing things, where like it's never spelled out for you, but you just kind of intuit what you need to do. Like when you come up
Right.
to a row of baskets and all of them have apples except one in Breath of the Wild, what do? Let's put an apple in that, see what happens, and it almost always works, and you almost always feel smart because of it. I think what
And it,
the next step for other companies would be to like take that note and say, all right, they're respecting the player enough to come up with this answer on their own without much more prodding because of the context of the game and because they've got all of these other experiences that have led up to this.
yeah, I think too, if, especially for Nintendo as a whole, if if a child can, you know, figure out these puzzles, then they're doing the right thing,
Right.
right? Then they're making it so that everyone can feel smart about the puzzles that they do. I think some of the dungeon challenges, I don't remember what they're called in Breath of the Wild, but some of those challenges, I was like, what is going on in here? I I don't know how the hell to do this.
Yeah.
Some of them.
But the fact is that there's like 7 different ways you could do it.
Yeah.
For most of those. Like that's
Mm-hmm.
the other part that I really liked about them. It's not leading you by the nose. It's completely by intuition. And therefore there's a billion different ways you could do it. And that's really cool to me.
Yep.
That's really cool
So
to me.
I with that, I hope Immortals Phoenix Rising will be successful. Ubisoft is very hit or miss on their titles that aren't, tentpole titles like Assassin's Creed or Watch Dogs
Well, I mean, they're
or,
more miss on
Rainbow
Watch
Six.
Dogs than anything, I think.
They are. Do you think so? Like this one for Legion?
Yeah, I haven't. So, full disclosure, I have not played it, but I've seen footage, and I played Watch Dogs 1, didn't like it. Played Watch Dogs 2, wasn't for me. Watch Dogs Legion just looks even further in the no camp for me. And I mean,
Well,
that
maybe
seems
it's
to
just
be the
a
consensus that it's just not.
yeah. Maybe it's just like a testament to that it being not for you then.
Yeah, but it seems like it's not for a lot of people
Oh,
based
okay.
on Metacritic and based on like
Yeah.
that sort of thing.
More of this, from what I've gathered, it's more of the same. So if you really enjoy Watch Dogs, if you enjoy all the hacking and running around in London, which is a great environment to be in right now too, then by all means go for it. But yeah, it's along the same lines of like Far Cry.
Yeah,
Have you played Far Cry?
I love
I haven't,
Far Cry.
and I played 4 and 3 and a little bit of 4. I did
Which was
not
the
play
one in
5.
Africa? 3. I started playing with whatever one was in Africa. It was either 2 or 3.
Did you get malaria?
Oh yeah,
So that's 2.
yeah. Then I started in 2.
Okay. And then
Um,
three was with Voss,
yeah. Okay.
where they had like the main antagonist, but that one is that one is where they switched their, perspective on, or like gaining philosophy on like how they designed it,
Yep.
and they went from 3 and just iterated on it on 4, 5, and now 6.
Yeah, though I think the best one was actually the one in Africa that I played, the Far Cry 2,
2.
I think it is.
Yeah.
Just like the way that fire spread and the sort of weird, wacky shit that would happen around every corner. Like, that still happens, but the last Far Cry that I played was 5, I think. That's the one in
Here.
America, right?
Yeah, here.
Okay, so Count Jacob said, I checked out and it came in with, I started with whichever one was in Africa. Did you get malaria? Yes. It just made me laugh.
I guess that's, well, because I didn't know if you meant Africa, like the actual location, because 3 was in who knows where it was. It was just jungle.
Wasn't that in like on an island in like, I don't know. I don't know geography that well. I'm not gonna out myself right now.
Well, that's why I was like, 3 kind of feels like Africa, but yeah, malaria was a major facet of Far Cry 2.
You had to constantly find medicine to keep it at bay.
In like 3, it wasn't.
Right.
But and those were that was a differentiator.
But there was all kinds of weird stuff, weird systems in that game where like your gun could rust or it could jam.
Oh.
Do you remember that?
I personally didn't play Far Cry 2. I just am aware of a few of the mechanics. Like,
it had really good.
You had different NPCs.
From what I remember, it had great AI. Like,
oh, okay,
yeah. So
yeah, like you could help out or kill NPCs. They could, or they could die, or there was that kind of mechanic going on there too. So but that was like before I played Far Cry.
Speaking of a game where you can kill NPCs and you don't necessarily mean to, I've been playing a shit ton of Demon Souls lately. And
you can kill NPCs in that?
Oh, you can kill shopkeepers, everybody.
You can kill everybody.
You can kill everybody.
And they don't come back.
Or, and now at least they've like tweaked the aggro system where like if you hit somebody on accident, they don't stay mad at you for like ever. In Dark Souls and beyond, if you hit somebody accidentally with your sword, which is kind of easy to do if you like set your controller down or something in front of them, even if you're like shopping, if you hit the R trigger, it'll swing. I know.
Hate it.
But like in Dark Souls, you had to go find an NPC that was like way removed to be able to buy something that would like remove your transgression against this other character.
Oh, geez.
And it could, like, if you accidentally hit, the first time I played Dark Souls, there's a guy that's in Firelink Shrine, like the first place that you start in. He's like an asshole NPC. He doesn't give you anything. He just kind of taunts you the whole game. And I had enough of his stuff, and I didn't know that you could like aggro NPCs and then they would be aggro forever. So I swung at him, and he was like way higher level than I was.
Oof.
And I didn't know that, like, I just thought I was going to go through and was like, I hate this dude. And then he starts attacking me and just like killing me over and over and over and over. Because every time I'd come back, I was right in that same spot. And he'd be like, oh, there you are. Bam.
Just got to restart that save, Hanny.
No, actually, I powered it through. I like ran away, got like far enough away that he wasn't chasing me anymore, came back, and then I like tried to square off on it again. I probably died like 80 times to that dude.
Oh, God. On stream?
I got him. Oh, no, this was like when it first came out.
Oh, okay.
But then, like, I got him. Then I got him. He was like a little boss that you're not even supposed to fight, really. But
did you get anything from it? Or?
Yeah, you get like his armor set and stuff.
Oh, nice. Okay. But what's his purpose other than to taunt you?
I mean, he's just there to be an asshole. Like, oh, you're never gonna get it. He's there to introduce the idea of hopelessness.
Oh,
because that's what those games are all about. And speaking of hopelessness,
yes, I'm ready for this.
I wanted to share this because this is what these games are all about. I played Demon Souls on Wednesday. Now, the stream before this was that I played Demon Souls was the Thursday before, and I kicked ass. I got through 5 bosses. It was like all progress all the time. It was so good. I felt so energized going into Wednesday. And then this is me fighting a boss called the Man-Eater. And the Man-Eater starts off as one boss. and he's like Manticore basically. He's got like a lion face and a snake tail, and he's got wings, and he can fly, can shoot stuff at you. When you get into this fight, you're fighting him, and a minute later, another copy of him with full health comes in and fights you as well. Okay. I just have to say, I had one dead, and the other one. What's that?
Do you have the audio on for your?
I can do the audio. This is so embarrassing though, because I'm about to cry.
I was like, before you play it, please make sure the audio's on.
Okay, we'll turn the audio on. I'm hoping that it comes through. Let me just make sure my browser source. Okay. Let me make sure, because I just rewired everything. Yep, we got it.
Yeah, you're good. You good. I was here for this one too.
Okay, so I had one down, and the other one's health was so low that you can't even see it on the bar behind me because the green screen.
We can't hear it. We're talking. Well, I can't hear it.
No. Yeah, they can hear it.
Oh no!
No!
Oh,
this was like attempt, I don't know, 15, something like that.
15? Oh god!
No, I had it. I had it.
Just.
Oh my god! I was so frustrated. I couldn't even verbalize. I'm still feeling it. I'm still feeling it.
It was just the worst.
That failure was so heavy. Look at this is me rolling off.
It ripped. Yeah, just play it from the beginning.
The ultimate fire drill. Got it. This made me question everything. This made me go, I'm not good at anything. People don't want to be around me. People don't like me. I got in my feelings after that stream because of that.
Just a spiral of feelings.
It crushed my spirit. And I still love that game, and I still don't think that difficulty select should exist.
I mean, that's a question for another time. That is another Panic hot take for sure. It was, yeah, when I was watching you stream it, my jaw was on the floor. And then I clipped it.
Yes.
And then I just went back and clipped it, and I was like, oh my god. And then watching you watch it on stream again, and the hurt that you could see on your face, I was like, I felt bad too. I was like, oh my god, this sucks so much. So did you end up beating that boss?
No,
yet?
Tuesday is the rematch. Tuesday's the rematch. I'm definitely gonna try to beat it on Tuesday.
I'm definitely gonna try to beat it. I told you in chat that day. My guess is that you will beat it in 2 tries on Tuesday.
Yeah, that's how these games go. I've slept on it. I've been training. I've got the Rocky music.
Full on Panic.
I've got the Rocky music. I've got the gumption, the wit, the know-how, the versatility.
Just don't roll off the cliff.
Rolling. Yeah, just
don't roll off the cliff.
I was too much of an acrobat. That's what it was. Less Dominic Dawes.
Yeah. And hopefully you'll get a good player to help you with that fight.
That was the other thing that
you were so pissed at that person.
I know. I actually deleted the clip that I made of that because I called them out by name. I was like, you, whoever you are. And I read their screen and you suck. You're terrible. I was so tilted.
What if their power went out? I was like sitting there like, what if they just disconnected on accident?
No, I think it's because they summoned me and I died right away.
Oh, and then
I accidentally. I didn't accidentally. I summoned them, and they came in the game. The thing is, if you don't especially at the hard bosses, if you summon somebody, if you see a summon sign on the ground and you don't grab it as soon as it hits, you're not gonna get it because everybody else is waiting there too.
It'll go to somebody else.
Right.
Yeah.
So you have to be really fast. I don't even look at the name. I'm just like, I don't care how many
Do
times you've done
you
this, like, because it'll tell you how
do
many
you
times they've
think
been in other worlds.
oh do you think you can beat it without an extra player?
Not at this level, no. I think if I
Oh,
had
okay.
different like spells and stuff, maybe.
Sure. So I believe Manticore is one of the is Manticore
Maneater,
right?
but it's based on
Oh,
yeah.
Maneater. Sorry,
Manticore
I
means
believe.
Maneater.
Oh, right. I believe Maneater is one of those bosses that is infamous in Demon Souls, right?
Yes. And I had
For this
forgotten
level of difficulty.
completely about it. Yeah, it's
Oof.
it's infamous because it is so incredibly difficult
I
to
too
rush
am a
down a
man
boss.
eater.
He's a man eater
Yeah.
making my
Or the other one,
What's
the other
that?
man eater, the other man eater by Hall and Oates.
Oh, here she comes. Yeah.
So either one, Nelly Furtado or Hall and Oates. But which one? Which one is this one?
What are we having a celebrity death match?
Yeah.
It's both of them because there's two of them.
You're right. It could be either
It
one.
hits you from both sides.
Mm-hmm. So Tuesday is Demon Souls
Tuesday's
night.
Demon Souls, yeah.
Tonight.
Tonight I am going to be playing a Sherlock Holmes game with Mama Panic. Deb
Oh,
says
okay.
hi. Every Sunday I play video games with my mom because she is a wonderful person and she
Just
loves video games and she loves streaming stuff. I say that she doesn't stream herself. She's always, I mean, she does because she's on every Sunday with me, but like,
right.
she loves streamers. She loves supporting this community.
Just the most supportive uh, part of our community in general, right? Our small little community. It's just, I always appreciate having her in stream. I always appreciate seeing her. And I've said it before, especially in the LGBTQIA2 plus community, your parents aren't always supportive of
No,
you and who you are as a person. So having somebody who is so outwardly supportive of everybody here, it, she's a mom to so many people that she doesn't know about, and that is truly we are thankful for you too, Deb. Like
that's our
we're
2020
honestly,
thankful right there.
yeah, we are honestly, and so many people have said that about her and how supportive she is, and
She
just
is more supportive than I am, and I'm in the game. That's not even an exaggeration. She'll put up emotes. I'll be like, "Who's that for?" Oh, it's this
yeah,
streamer. I've never
yeah,
even seen them before, but go on,
yeah,
go off.
right. So good, so good. So we appreciate you, Deb. Thank you for being such a great part of our community. You know, yeah. Um, what else have you been playing?
I've been playing the new Call of Duty.
Oh
Um,
yes,
just in like my
you
off
played that
time,
last
I'll
night.
pick up a couple matches. I play it with some friends in Bobby Mark's Discord.
Oh, okay.
Um, I have always been like a closet tryhard for first person shooters, but I'm still terrible at them. I reaffirm that yearly by always playing the newest one. I wasn't gonna.
Yeah.
I know I wasn't going to. I don't think I was gonna pick this one up, but I did get a code from somebody. Uh,
Oh, nice.
and so I was like, okay, I'm gonna give it another shot. I'm still terrible, but this one feels good. I mean, it's I'm not the person to ask about like reviewing Call of Duty because they're all sort of similar to me. Like, I don't know a lot of the differences between the guns and stuff, and like, this one has a
Mm-hmm.
better like flow to your movement or anything like that. It feels fine to me. What I really like is that I'm playing it on PS5, and the reactive triggers really do feel different for every gun. Um, so like, the left trigger, the aim down sights, that is harder to pull based on how heavy the gun is, as well as the vibration and the trigger is different for every gun. So it coincides with like however fast the fire rate is, and
Wow.
it like some of them have hair triggers, so it's much easier to pull, that sort of thing.
The realism in the haptic triggers for Call of Duty are it's a hard sell for pros, I
Yeah.
think,
Mm-hmm.
and the competitive scene because of how different it is. It does hinder your
Oh, for
accuracy
sure.
and all of that too. So I I'm glad that they put it in, but especially in the competitive scene, they're just gonna shut it
But
off.
here's the thing: it's like training with like leg weights on. When you finally take them off, you're gonna be so fast. So I don't know if you can see them. I've got little finger biceps going on, just from these triggers.
So
I'm gonna be pro so fast because I'm gonna be able to pull the trigger faster than everybody else.
can we get some hashtag finger biceps in
Finger
chat,
biceps,
please?
y'all. Doing my curls.
So good, so good.
Uh,
I am a fan of Call of Duty. I don't have this one. I don't have Cold War or whatever.
yeah.
Ronald Reagan. Great, love that, fantastic. Um,
Except no, not great. Don't love that.
that
Anyway.
was all very sarcastic.
Yeah.
um, have you played Zombies? Are you a fan of
I
Zombies?
like zombies, but I never understand what I'm doing.
Because now Zombies has iterated upon itself so much that only the people that are really good at Zombies know you have to go to this wall at this time, press this button to open this door. Like it's gotten to that point that it's so much more complicated that you just can't enter it in and just be like,
Exactly.
here we are.
Anytime anytime that I've ever gotten into a zombies match, it is with people that already know exactly what to do. They're not going to explain what it is. I'm just
Right.
running around like headshot zombies.
Yeah.
Why does it take like 400 bullets to kill this zombie? Because we're on level 17 already. Because it's throwing me
Right.
in the deep end. It's just I want to I want to start a zombies match with three other people that have never played that map before and figure
Mhm.
it out together and have never had that experience. And I bet you that's the fun part.
Yeah, I agree. I Solo queuing in Zombies is really a weird experience. I think I love horde modes. I enjoy having that PVE aspect of a first person shooter like that. But it definitely is helpful to have people that you are like on the same level with.
What was your
It's,
favorite? What's your favorite horde mode of any game?
oh, that's hard. Do you have an answer for
I think
that
yeah,
right
mine
now?
would be Gears 3. I think started it. Gears 2 or 3 introduced it and I think did it
Uh,
best.
Cover mechanics were great. You
Setting
know,
out traps and things like that. Like they
setting out
really
traps.
Gears 5 has a horde mode that's still really good.
I don't think I played. I have Gears 5. I don't think I played Horde mode.
Yeah, it's good.
I was thinking of Gears I mean, that's where that uh,
They started it.
namesake came. Yeah, that's where it came out of. But um, I think yeah, Gears is probably the best iteration of that. I do love Zombies. I think Zombies is a great game mode. I played it. I played it quite a bit, especially when the maps came out for like I don't know, a couple of Call of Duties back. But um, yeah, I would love to see more horde mode stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think Overwatch had been doing a really good job of it. I love their their Halloween event for that PvE stuff.
Is that a constant mode? Can you just jump into that? I've been playing a little bit of
Mm-mm.
Overwatch with some friends lately. I'm
Yeah.
trash at it. Like, if you aren't constantly playing that game, eh, they change all the powers for all the characters constantly. Well, I don't know about
Yeah.
constantly, but every time I jump back into it, I'm
Every
like,
every
wait,
couple of
this
months
person
you're like,
doesn't do anything that I remember them doing.
why is Symmetra doing something completely different again?
She always is.
She has something different every other time.
She's like the
Um,
Lady Gaga of Overwatch.
it's just reinventing
Just
herself every time.
completely, she's a chameleon.
Another Tony Bennett album instead. Um, so I had played Overwatch on PS4 quite a bit. Um, for me, the switch to console to PC FPSs has been very rough. I am not. I had also played Apex Legends on PS4 for a long time too. I played seasons like 1 through 5, like one, 3, 4, and 5
Yeah.
on PlayStation 4, and just trying to do it on PC has just been
I'll tell you, I
awful.
got I got over that fairly quickly, and I got much better at these things with mouse and keyboard. But now going
Yeah,
back to try to play these on PS5 or PS4, like
yeah,
It is so hard to go back to a controller, but I just can't, like, you can't react fast. There's no possibility of reacting that
Oh
fast
yeah.
enough. And if you up the sensitivity, it's like, like
Yeah.
I hear wind because my head is whipping around so fast.
Especially on Call of Duty when you can flick the joystick and you'll do a 360 for that sensitivity.
Yeah.
That's the insane part. I would usually play at like 6 or 7 out of 10 sensitivity on Overwatch or Call of Duty, but nothing above that.
Yeah.
Some people play with like the lowest sensitivity. I'm like,
I mean, I
how?
approach those games like, please don't hurt me, please don't hurt me. Like, I'll stay on, like, in a team deathmatch or something, I'll stay on the
Right.
outsides of the map and try, so I always have like one side covered that they can't come from, and then I'll just like crouch my way through, and I still get annihilated, but like I try to be as quiet as possible. I don't like to camp or anything. I won't stay in one area. I'll keep like making circuits, but like I try to be very conscious of that, and I still get just blasted. It
Especially
seems
on
like
PC.
I will watch a corridor for like, I don't know, a good 10 seconds. Like, okay, is this cool? Is this cool? I'm coming through. I'm coming through. And then I'll turn to look behind me. And in that 2 milliseconds that I have turned around, that's when the person comes around where I was just watching for 10 seconds and kills me.
Right.
It's a curse.
Call of Duty is such a it's like the cornerstone of like twitchy shooters.
Oh, sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Like if you think about Call of Duty versus Overwatch, the time to kill is way different.
Way
you know,
different.
you're respawning way faster. It's just, it has a different, you know, feeling about it that I haven't really gotten into, because it's just that constant, you know, respawn die that it's hard to get back from, honestly, right, on Call of Duty. But I hope to get back into. I usually like dabble with Call of Duty now. I either like rent it or just like, you know, play it for a little bit and then don't pick it back up again. But you know, some people that's their FIFA. Right. That's their, you know, that's their yearly game. They always get Call of Duty. You know. But,
I think it's. I mean, it's fun to sink some time into it. It is flashy. The graphics are always incredible. You can just sit down, play a couple matches, and leave it, and not feel. I'm not one of those people that gets so invested that I have to like prestige and stuff like that. Like once I unlock everything, I'm fine. I don't care what my call sign says.
Yeah, especially on a console that has a handful of things that are new, you know, that will actually use the power of the console for the graphics that they have. Like,
right.
It's a great opportunity to jump in this cycle. Will we do it again next year? Who knows? But I'm still on the I know we talked about it last week, but I'm still on the fence on Cyberpunk 2077. Like, I'm leaning towards getting it, but I don't know. But
I'm getting it. I don't know if I'm going to stream it. I've heard from a lot of sources that it is so mature.
Yeah,
it should be like NC-17, and I don't really. That's not something I want on my channel. Aside from all of the other messaging that's been around it and the problematic stuff.
Yes, that too.
I don't necessarily want like oodles of boobies and stuff on my channel. I think it's an experience that I am fine having, but I don't think I want to share that experience. Like, I don't want to be a mouthpiece for that experience, if that makes sense.
Right. So I guess we're on the same page then, because I feel like that if I were to purchase it, I wouldn't stream it either because of all of that mature content. Like, I feel like at least on my channel too, we don't like. I have a sailor's mouth on my channel, but we don't necessarily have like graphic content other than Assassin's Creed on there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel the same way on that too. But that'll be coming out in like 11 days. Something like that. Oh,
wow, that's close.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 10th.
Yeah, like 11 days
is the release date.
So the 10th is also, yeah, I know. We'll see. The 10th is also the Game Awards. I'll be doing a watch party for it at 4 p.m. Pacific time when it starts.
And where can we find you?
You can find me. Are we done? Do you think should we be done? Is that what? Wait, what?
Oh.
What? What? Well, I didn't know if we were ending.
we're at time, so I'm just figuring
Well, okay, we are at time.
if we're going to talk about your channel, we should know where you're at.
Absolutely. You can find me at twitch.tv/pittinjury, PITTINJURY. You can find that lovely gentleman up there at twitch.tv/fulonpanic. If you find us on Twitter, you'll find me at pittinjury on Twitter. You can find that lovely gentleman up there at fulonpanic1.
The person who has Full On Panic has not posted in years. I just want to put that out there.
I don't know. We don't have any emails today either, but if you want to email the podcast, you're more than welcome to at splitsqueenpodcast@gmail.com. This episode, if you did not see it live, will be up on YouTube later.
I am working on getting an audio version of this uploaded once I figure out how people do that. If you know, please send me an email.
The last time we did it, when I did it for the other podcast, it was through Libsyn, Libsyn, but that's like a $5 a month thing, and
I'll pay.
I don't necessarily. And that's that's like, we could decide on.
I've already put blood, sweat, and tears. What's a little money?
I think that's how people do it. I'm not entirely sure.
We'll talk about it.
That is one way. Yeah, we can talk about it. That is one way to do it. There has to be a free way to host it, right?
Yeah. We'll talk about it.
Okay. Thank you for joining us, everyone.
Right?
Yes. I sometimes I like to expose the sausage. But thank you for joining us today, everybody. Hope you have a great rest of your Sunday. Panic will be streaming later today at
7 p.m. Eastern time.
I was going to say 4. I was like at 4, but that didn't sound right. But it is right for me.
It's right for you.
It's right for me, but not for you. So yeah, in a few hours. So please join him then. You can catch Panic on Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. And then you can catch me Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. That's it. We're thankful for you. Thank you, Panic.
Thank you, Pitt.